You look like death warmed over, my friend. This is good. Soon there will be enough of us. And we will terrorize the living until we own this night. Are you with me? Tonight is ours!
What is up, you guys? It is HCJ Halloween, and today I am back with yet another Spirit Halloween sneak peek for the 2021 season. Before I do get into it, though, I first just want to shout out my music. You heard a little snippet of my song, All I Ever Wanted, at the beginning of this video, and if you thought it sounded kind of interesting, then be sure to check out the links down below in the description. You've got a link to my Spotify, my Apple Music, and my Tyler Hunt Music YouTube, so that you won't miss any music videos, and I will be having a Halloween music video coming soon, so you won't want to miss that. And on top of that, don't forget to check out my Patreon, which will also be linked down in the description and the top of the comment section if you want to get some awesome exclusive content from me this Halloween season. We're talking Spirit Halloween prop reviews, tours of stores other than Spirit Halloween like Target, Home Depot, etc., and also prop unboxings of Party City props, which I've never done before, and it will only be available exclusively on the Patreon. So check out that in the link down below, and that's at the top of the comment section. All right, so without further ado, today I am talking about Grimm, the big skeleton that Spirit Halloween is adding to their 2021 lineup. Now, at first when I saw this skeleton in the teaser, I wasn't exactly sure what all the hype is about for this giant skeleton. I just saw the picture of it and I was like, why do they have just a random giant skeleton? Well, as it turns out, the real kicker for this guy is the incredible amount of animation he has. It's almost too much for me to remember to list off, but as far as I can tell, he has side-to-side movement, arm movement up and down. His head basically rotates in almost all directions. It moves from side to side. It also goes up and down, and it sometimes just moves like at an angle diagonally. So the head is just moving all around. It's also got mouth movement, and I believe the eyes themselves look like they kind of look around the room, and his eyes also light up. So almost, some of the most animation we've ever seen in a prop. Even though at first glance it seems like a simple skeleton, this guy is really brought to life to the point where it almost seems like something you'd see in like a theme park, if you know what I mean. It just really has so much going on for it that it is quite the complex animatronic. And because of that, the price tag is pretty high. This guy's sitting at $279.99, but that is to be expected for something that has this much animation. I bet the only reason the price isn't over $300 is because it's such a simple build. It's just skeleton, so they didn't have that many pieces and parts. But if there was something more complex than a skeleton that had all this movement, I'm sure it would be sitting over $300. So kind of think that the price is pretty much at a fair point for what you are getting. This guy's 6 feet tall, so a fully life-size character, not towering necessarily, but he's certainly going to be up there with all the rest of the props. Another thing to note is that the eyes, like I said, light up, but they definitely have some more detail than the usual light up eyes. Like I was saying, they seem to look around. They have blue irises and pupils, and I think that those move around in the eye frame. Now, I cannot tell if the eyes are three-dimensional or if they're a flat LCD screen like we saw for Peekaboo Clown. In some shots, it looks like they're three-dimensional, and others it doesn't, but it certainly would be cool for the eyes to kind of pop out of his head. So that is super awesome. The mouth movement as well also adds a super nice touch because he does have 3 different phrases he goes through, and they're very much lengthy phrases. The one that you heard in the video was only one phrase, and he has 3 other ones that he says. They're not very scary, but I think that they're just fitting in general. They're pretty much just, clever Halloween-y, whatever stuff that he says. I didn't really pay too much attention to it, but it's not like scary or screaming or anything like that. It's more so just classic Halloween voice, and I certainly think that it is fitting. Now, there isn't really all that much to add as far as appearance goes. I mean, it pretty much just looks like your typical skeleton. I mean, you'd see this in a high school classroom for what the skeleton looks like. I mean, it's got the ribs, it's got the arms, it's got the spine. It twists at the spine. That's an added note. That's where it like turns from side to side, is at the spine. But other than that, you know what? It pretty much just looks like your regular old run-of-the-mill skeleton. The skull itself is certainly pretty cool. It's more of an elongated, taller looking head. And like I said, the mouth movement is certainly an added touch. Of course, it's not normal that you see a skeleton with its eyes remaining, but I do really like that they have the eyes to give this some sort of light and bring it some sort of life. But other than that, it's a pretty simple looking prop. I'd certainly be interested to see how this guy sets up, because usually we have some sort of clothing piece that covers up all of the internal pulls and mechanics. And this guy very much is just, right out in the open. You kind of see everything. So I'm sure they had to get kind of clever with the way that this thing is going to operate. And there's so many moving parts and pieces that it's certainly going to be interesting to see. Please let me know if you guys want to see me unbox it on the channel, so then I'll be able to see it for myself and show you guys what it looks like to open this guy up. But I definitely need to see that you guys are requesting it, because there are so many amazing props this year. And as far as this guy goes, is how much I like him, you know what I mean? He's not like my absolute favorite just because of the simple fact that it's kind of just a skeleton, but I certainly am impressed with the range of motion and all of the animation. It's definitely incredible on that front. It's just not that, groundbreaking as far as the appearance. It's just a skeleton prop. So it's not necessarily one of the ones that I would be super inclined to pick up right away, but if you guys really, really want it, then fight for it down in the comments and DM me on Patreon, link in the description to that, to get the chance to see this guy on the channel. So anyways, guys, that is pretty much it for Grim. Like I said, let me know what you think of him in the comments section below. Don't forget to check out my Spotify. Link to that will be down in the description. I really do appreciate all the love and support on the music. And also don't forget to check out Patreon if you're interested in getting exclusive content from me this Halloween season. And you can message me directly on there with guaranteed responses daily. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.